Good morning. Thank you for joining us today for our webinar, 5 Ways to Keep Your Customers and Prospects Informed, Managing Your Digital Presence in the New Normal. My name is Jairo Batista. I'm a consultant with the Florida SBDC at UCF. For those who are new to our organization, we are an organization that is geared to help businesses grow and succeed. And we do that in 4 ways. The first way we do that is through no-cost consulting. You can come and see any one of our consultants as many times as you like, and it will be all at no cost. Our consultants have expertise in a variety of business areas, including marketing, finance, accounting, international trade, and much, much more. Secondly, we provide assistance with market research. Thanks to our connection with the University of South Florida and also the Florida SBDC network, we have access to a variety of databases that can help you make the best informed decisions as entrepreneurs. We also offer several specialized programs for second stage companies. So if you're at a point where you're been in business for over 2 years and you're looking to take things to the next level, we have different programs that can help you do that. One, we have a program that can help businesses expand to overseas markets through our international trade services. And then we also have a program through our sister program called PPAC that can help you win government contracts. And lastly, what we do is provide education opportunities through webinars and seminars like these. Before I introduce our presenter today, I just want to give a few housekeeping tips for today. You are muted, but however, you can enter questions in the chat. The questions will be addressed and answered towards the end of the webinar. Also, you can find in the GoToWebinar platform the handout of the PowerPoint presentation you can download and save on your computer. And lastly, later today, we're going to send out a webinar evaluation survey. Please take a few minutes to fill that out. We use that data to plan for upcoming webinars. Well, without further ado, I'll introduce our speakers today, which are Hugo and Priscilla Azzolini from Different Perspective. Hugo is the founder and president of Different Perspective. His principal responsibilities include overseeing client acquisition, creative direction, operations, and team management. He utilizes strategic planning to focus on the multifaceted aspects of marketing and advertising. Hugo attended a college for business administration and is proficient in Photoshop, Illustrator, Premiere, and several digital marketing tools. He fluently speaks English and Portuguese. Priscilla is a partner and director of communications at Different Perspective. Her main responsibilities include managing the agency's marketing communications projects, developing client relationships, and utilizing her skills as an experienced professional photographer. Priscilla attended college for social communications with a minor in journalism. She loves working with accomplished local businesses and international companies that are moving into the market. Well, without further ado, I turn it over to Hugo and Priscilla Azzolini.
Thank you, Harry, for the introductions and the SBDC for inviting us to present this webinar today and for everyone attending. We're very excited to share with you information that will help you better communicate with clients and prospects. Our objective today is for you to leave with practical tools that you can use to better promote and grow your business. Before we get started, allow us to reintroduce ourselves in case you guys are wondering who's who. I'm Hugo Azzolini. I am the founder and president at Different Perspective.
Hello, my name is Priscilla, and I'm a partner and director of communications here at Different Perspective.
The Different Perspective is a branding and digital marketing agency located here in downtown Orlando. We have been in business for 17 years and have 8 awesome people in our team. Not everyone is pictured here. Just want to make sure you guys know.
And some of our team members are attending too. So hi, everyone. We are a group of experienced, collaborative, strategic, friendly, creative thinkers and doers. We help entrepreneurs, business owners, and managers take their business to the next level.
So guys, what's happening today? It is hard to believe that almost 1 year ago, we packed our office essentials and started working from home. Most of our team is still working from home today, but this is gradually changing. In the past 17 years as business owners, we have seen our fair share of ups and downs. But one thing is for sure, this is the biggest challenge that we and many of our clients have faced in recent years. The purpose of this webinar is not to talk about the pandemic adversities, but rather explore opportunities and practical tips on how to handle your business's online presence during today's climate change and beyond. Your customers may be wondering all sorts of things, if you have the usual products available, if shipping times have changed, or if you're seeing customers in person. More than ever, it's important to address changes, share important information, keep connected with your customers, and have enough information online to help your prospects want to do business with you.
Today, we'll cover how you can adapt your message and bring transparency and reassurance to your customers and prospects. The focus today would be on the basics on how you can improve your communications online. We will not be addressing on this webinar paid advertising such as Google Ads or Facebook ads. We truly believe that before you start running online ads for your business, you should have a solid online presence.
So imagine that you have a toothache and you wanted to know what kind of precautions your dentist's office is taking before you book your appointment. You visit the website and you cannot find any information. It will make you wonder if they're taking it seriously and keeping their patients safe. Or if you want to finally try a new restaurant that you saw on Instagram, but want to know first if they have an outside eating area, or if you can place your order in for the advanced pickup. But none of this is available online.
We'll focus on 5 pillars of your online presence that will help you consistently communicate with your customers and give your prospects confidence that you are the right choice for them. We'll share tips related to your, number 1, local business listings, 2, business website, 3, social media presence, 4, email marketing, 5, content marketing. There will be times for questions at the end, like Jairo said before. And after the presentation, you'll receive the recordings via email. We're also going to have a couple of polls during the webinar, and I would love for you to participate to make this a little more engaging and so we can learn a little bit about you.
So let's just start with the first one, as Priscilla mentioned, which is the local business listings. So there are several online business listings that will help you help your business visibility online. You guys are probably aware of some, which is Yelp, Google My Business, and the BBB, which is the Better Business Bureau. The others that are industry specific, such as House for architecture, interior design, and decorating, Thumbtack for home services, or an AVO, actually some people call AVVO, and Super Lawyers for attorneys.
Today, we'll talk about the number 1 online business listings you should focus on before you explore the others. Google My Business. Google My Business, it's a very user-friendly and free marketing tool that you must pay attention, especially if you have a local business.
I like to emphasize on the free, which is something that I don't take it for granted. It's a very, very good platform. But let me just start by telling you guys a story from a recent experience. Actually, it was just last week, I think last Friday, that I had. This past week, we need some window repairs done at our house. I searched for window repair in Orlando and selected a few companies that showed up on Google in my area. And I called 4 of them. Some answered, got back to me right away, and 1 company came to my house and needed work. There was 1 company actually that had a message stating that they were out until February 3rd, but hence this was last week. So we'll just make sure the information is up to date. But 2 notes about this experience. A few companies did not answer the phone or return my message within 24 hours, which is a big, big no-no, especially now that many of us are still working from home. Make sure that you are paying close attention to phone calls and email leads that you are getting back to prospects and clients as soon as possible. If they called you, I can promise one thing, if they called you from a Google search, they're also calling your competitors right after they hang up the phone. The company that came to the house to do the window repair, they asked for a review on site and even offer a discount if we left a review on the spot. They have over 250 5-star reviews on Google My Business, so they're doing something right. The reviews are not the only aspect that I use to select the window repair company. I also check their website and social media to make sure they're legit and established. So good news is that once we have it created or claimed your Google My Business listing, it is very easy to update your business information, add pictures, create posts, and manage your customers' reviews. This is the back end of our company, Google My Business. You can do a lot of things with this platform. But just review or listen to make sure that your address, hours of operation, website link and services are updated. Also make sure that your reviews, negative or positive, have been properly responded to. We highly suggest, this is something that is extremely important, so we highly suggest not to engage and argue on a negative review. Just try to move the conversation outside by providing an email or phone number. So Google reviews are not a comment box. There's no back and forth on Google reviews. The customer leaves a review and you respond. The customer can change the review if they want, and you can also change the response as well. You can also add photos and create posts on the Google My Business listing to share important information and to answer recent FAQs. These posts show up in Google search and on Google Maps and are live for 7 days. If you are creating a post about business updates related to COVID-19, you can also create a COVID-19 update, which will be featured more prominently on your listing.
So this is a question actually that we get all the time, especially when we start working with a new client. How do I claim my Google My Business? Or even worse, a lot of times they had somebody else, either older service provider, an employee that have left, that claimed their business, and now the business owner or the business manager doesn't have access anymore. So this is, throughout the webinar, we're going to share just a couple of highlights of resources that we also have available, and they're going to be shared with you. But we have written a blog, 2 blogs actually. They're very specific to Google My Business. One, it's why is it so important to you, if you want to go a little more in depth. And the other one that's very helpful, it's how to claim or reclaim your online business listing. And one more, if you can just kind of punch one more time, I think we also have created, yes, another piece of content talks about how to follow up with your online leads. Like Hugo mentioned before, if people are looking for finding you online, they're looking and calling your competitors, just like he did when he had to call for the window repair. So there are specific ways and very simple ways that you can do to make sure you are getting back to potential clients and closing deals and sales right away.
Just remember this, you cannot click on the screen right now, but once you download the PDF for the presentation, those links are clickable.
Mm-hmm.
So the next topic we're going to be talking about is your business website. Your company website should be the center of your business online presence. I'm actually going to repeat this. Your company website should be the center of your business online presence. This is where everything revolves to. This is the center of everything. So just make sure that your hours of operations, address, phone numbers, services, and products are all up to date. Add relevant information to your FAQ section. For example, if you could address common questions about how your business practices are adapting to restrictions due to current the COVID-19 outbreak. If you have an e-commerce website, make sure that you update any changes to products, availability, shipping, customer service, response times, and return policies. Just one thing that I just also want to talk is about emphasizing the website. Everything should just point back to the website. You control your website. You don't control the social media. Social media is always changing. They are making changes that is completely outside of your control. So you have control of your website. Just make sure the information is up to date there.
And another suggestion is, if you haven't already, because obviously I can't believe it's going to be almost a year since this started. But if you haven't already, still consider adding a dedicated page outlining how you are handling customers, or especially if you're like a medical practice, you're handling patient safety, and share updated information they need. This is just a couple of examples here. One, it's from one of our clients, Hyperbarics, that have a dedicated page for COVID-19 notice. Another one, it's our friends from the Orlando Philharmonic. They also created like a public health page, obviously with all the concerts being canceled and procedures having to be addressed. It's very important that they have a hub where people can go and find everything that's going on and feel comfortable coming to the concerts that are actually happening right now.
Also, consider having a blog or adding a resource section with helpful free content that can benefit your customers. You can focus on your areas of expertise, provide relevant, timely content that informs and educates your audience. This is also a great idea to position your company as a thought leader.
Well, there are a lot of types of websites. I mean, we are obviously speaking to a diverse group here. Some of you may start in your business right now. Some of you have done a website back in the days that may need to bring up to speed. To help you choose, we also created a few new resources, which is one of them. It's like, how can you choose? Which type of website should I choose for my business? You have the DIY, like the very simple ones, do yourself websites like Wix, Squarespace. There are template websites. Sometimes you may hire someone to do it, and they're gonna have like a few selections, and you choose one, they would make it for you. And obviously for usually businesses that have very stage 2 business that want to really take that business to the next level, they want to have something that's unique to their business, that's custom. So this is one of the resources that we have. We're not going to get super in detail today, but you can find more information also in our blog section of the website. Again, all these links are free. You don't have to subscribe to watch them, to read them. They're there for you. The other one, it's also, which is very important, it's also 6 essential components of a great homepage. Remember, the homepage is the first place people land when they come to the website. So you want to make sure that you make, first of all, you make a good first impression, but also that that it's very easy to navigate and you have all the information that they need to further explore your website. Let's see here.
Okay, so just also a quick story that I want to share. This last Friday, we had a meeting with a local client of ours that we just started the relationship. It's a big law firm here downtown Orlando. They were just talking about their frustration with their current website, which had a badge that I think was something that they were members of 5 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, and they didn't have access to the website to remove that badge from it. So that was mistakenly portraying an association that they were not part of. They actually did not want to be associated with that association anymore. So just make sure that you have control of your website. I talked about the social media and how important the website is. Just remember that your website is representing your business 24/7. It is the only online piece where you can and you should control your message. So today more than ever, potential clients are looking for their company online, and your website is the first impression of your business, as Priscilla mentioned. I'm just showing this. I don't know the ages of you guys right here, but Friendster, MySpace, they were big platforms, or supposed to be big platforms, until the 800-pound gorilla came into the room, which is Facebook, and Google Plus tried to dethrone Facebook. And as you know, Google Plus does not exist anymore. We actually see a bunch of websites today with still the Google Plus icon linking to nowhere, no man's land, so nothing happens when people click on it. But what I'm trying to say is your website, you own it, and it stays the way you control. And this platform, they can go away. I'm not saying that Facebook will go away, but they can make changes where you can lose control over a little bit.
Yeah, I would definitely say, even just before we jump into social media, it's like take a stock of your website, your business website. Again, it's representing your business 24/7. Take stock, visit, maybe perhaps ask somebody else from outside of your business to take a look. But if there are links that are broken, if there are old badges, services that you no longer offer, it's something that you should always do, but now it's even more important than ever, right? And talking about Google Plus being gone, let's segue into social media. Social media, it's a great way for you to connect with clients, prospects, show your company's culture and personality, engage in conversations, and keep them informed, which is the focus for the webinar today. Use social media platforms to share value, post useful tools, and provide free resources that are related to your areas of expertise. Your guiding principle should be to share content that's helpful as possible to your customers and prospects. Keep your customers informed about any important changes to your business, just like you did on the website and on your Google My Business. It's consistency. Online presence is all about consistency. Do not share, this is important too, do not share information from questionable, unknown sources, especially regarding pandemic or something that's outside of your expertise. Always communicate clearly and with the tone that's appropriate to the situation. You know, obviously each business have a different personality, but aim to be a source of happiness, positivity in your customers' lives. And also check your visuals, graphics, stock images, to make sure that you're using something that's appropriate for the time. So I would say right now, maybe avoid having too many pictures of people shaking hands or enclosed spaces. Bonus tip, which is not so much about the webinar today, but I always like to leave a couple of resources that you guys can explore after this. For social media, and these are really made for small business that may want to do on their own or have a team doing for them. But there are some visual content tools that you could use, you could explore, that can help you improve your social media presence. Some of them are Canva, Loom Video, and Animoto. So all those three are specific for visual content, both for animation, little animations, photos, and videos. And three others are more specific to scheduling and reporting, or Hootsuite, Buffer, and Later. Obviously, there are tons and tons of apps and tools that can help with your social media. These are some of the very popular ones. And because we can never, again, we have endless sources of information. Also, if you go to our blog section on our website and type social media on the search bar, you're going to pull a whole bunch more very specific. We have written a lot of social media specific blogs as well. Okay, so now we're going to go into our first poll. We just want to be able to hear from you and learn a little bit about everyone's background here. And the question is, and see, I think Justin it's going to help us here with the pop-up where you can select the topic. But really, what I want to ask you guys is, which social media platforms do you use most to connect with your customers and prospects? And we have a few ones here. I didn't see the pop-up yet. I don't know if Heido could let us know. If anything, we can just ask people also to leave their choices on the chat.
And please don't yell at the computer because we can't hear you guys.
Yeah, no, this is interesting because obviously we put here the big ones, but today we have Clubhouse. I mean, the really new one. We have Pinterest, and there's obviously YouTube is huge. TikTok, there you go. And if you could just select, and you can select more than one. Give here just a minute for you guys to make your selections. Okay, I think we should have enough. Hopefully we can get some results here shortly. Again, we love learning. There we go, awesome. So, oh, see, great. I see LinkedIn trumping everybody else, which I love because it's a lot of, personally, it's one of my favorite social medias to connect on a business level, a lot of business to business relationships. Obviously, Facebook, it's still the biggest platform in general, like as far as the amount of people doing. Very little Twitter and some others. Awesome. Okay.
So the fourth topic that we are going to be talking today is email marketing, which is remember, the marketing is it's a jigsaw puzzle that you have many pieces. So this is just one more piece of your marketing puzzle. So just not every customer or prospect will actively look for you. So a great way to reach out to them is to stay top of mind via email marketing. Make sure that you build a list of contacts for your business. This list should be organized or segmented in specific categories. But if you're just starting out, make sure that you have at least 2 segmented categories, which is customers and prospects. This way, when you're sending the messages, your message can be very specific to each group. We are all very familiar with receiving emails from e-commerce and retail businesses with promotions, special offers, and links to their product pages. But email marketing can be a very effective tool for business to offer services. Emails are an excellent way for you to share company, services, and products updates, and send out some resources and distribute content you are creating, such as blogs, infographics, videos, and webinars, just like this one. Show how you can be a valuable information source for your customers in your community by sharing company news and links to free resources.
Yeah, there's just like social media, there's a plethora of email marketing tools that you can use to create your email marketing art and design, manage your email contact lists, and run reports. Some of the most popular email marketing tools for small businesses are MailChimp, constant contact, and active campaign. Obviously, constant contact was really one of the very first one, and they're still very much relevant today. MailChimp came in just offering a much user-friendly backend and a little more modern templates. And Active Campaign does a really good job with automation, but there are also many other competitors that came into the market. The key really to email marketing, it's consistency. Provide value and find the right frequency that will work for your business and for your audience. Last but not least, so we talked about, we had 5 main pillars that we're going to discuss today. This is number 5. Content marketing. So content marketing is a form of marketing focused on creating, publishing, and distributing content for a target audience online. This may be an area where you may take a little bit more of your time, because obviously you have to be something that you have to create, but it's also a great way for you to provide value for your clients and prospects and position your business as a thought leader. Content marketing, it's also a very important piece of SEO, search engine optimization. By creating and sharing valuable content online related to your business expertise, you will enrich your business online presence. And now, okay, maybe some people started and took some, if they had some slow time a few months back, they kind of started that. The time is today. If you haven't started before, the time is today. It takes a little bit of time to build content online, but the time to start is today. It's now. Brainstorm. Go ahead, a little pop up there. Okay. Make sure to brainstorm and work with your marketing team to create relevant content that can be used both now and later when business gets back to normal. Some content marketing ideas include blog posts that can be done also in very different ways, checklists, infographics, ebooks, videos, and webinars, just like this one here today. And here are some additional information that will help you create a plan for your content marketing. One that can make your communication with your clients and prospects soar. It's a creation of a resource section or page on the website that explains your process. So you go one more resource. I'm going to just talk about these really briefly. So the first one, again, just some 5 ways that you can keep your content fresh. Sometimes we talk to people, they're like, oh, but I don't have that much to say. I don't have that much to write. So here if you visit our blog, you can find some ideas of how you can do that. The other one, it's the same, it's similar. We've learned that we do work with a lot of like more business to business and service types of clients. And sometimes like, oh, but I'm saying the same thing over and over again. It may not be so exciting. So we created a resource that gives some ideas as well. And lastly, it talks about the power of the process. So don't assume that people know how you run your business or how you deliver your services and products. So having a whole section, a blog, a piece of content on our website that explains how you do things and how you're going to help the customer can be very powerful. The idea is really help your clients understand how easy it is to work with you. And it's a great way for you to position, again, by doing all this, it's a great way for you to position you and your company as a leader in your industry.
Okay, guys, just to wrap it up and review what we have covered today, we have discussed 5 ways that you can keep customers and prospects informed by managing your business online presence. So we have shared tips related to your Google My Business listing, business website, social media presence, email marketing, and last but not least, content marketing. We hope that you guys have found this information useful to help you sharing important information as well and keep you connected with your customers in your journey through managing your digital presence in the new normal and beyond. Just remember, there is light at the end of the tunnel. It's very, very close. I can feel it. By properly communicating and being consistent, you'll build a stronger relationship with them that will endure long after this pandemic's over, almost done.
And we could not end without sharing additional, free resources with you. I mean, I guess you can tell that we're really passionate about creating content, and we have an awesome team that we work together to kind of put all this stuff together, and we want to just make sure you guys can find it. One is actually the number one here. It's our number one bread kind of blog on our website, and it's hard. We keep trying to write other pieces of content to make that one better, but this one is it's the leader. It's been the leader for I think over a year. It's a marketing audit checklist. So it's pretty simple. You can look at it. It talks about a little bit about your branding, your website, and then your marketing things that you're doing for marketing. Just a checklist, free. You can do your own audit by using that list. Another one, it has some free resources also, marketing calendar templates with some great promotion ideas. Also, how to write a marketing strategy in 6 simple steps, and also a step-by-step guide to building your 2021 digital marketing plan. That one goes a little more specific into the digital portion of your marketing plan. Let's see what else I have here. And yeah, let's do one more poll before we close, or before we actually open for questions. It's again, SBDC and Jairo and Justin that's also here helping us today. Thank you so much for your help. What we want to know is what topics we'd like for us to cover in the future. Well, today's webinar was a little more broad, but please select one of these topics to help us craft our next webinar. Branding and messaging, marketing strategies, social media, SEO and PPC, which is then it goes a little more into the advertising part, and marketing tools and hacks. And you can select more than one. Okay, Justin, if you got some good responses there, it would be awesome for us to see it, the results. Okay, see, marketing tools, social media, SEO and PPC, and a little bit of marketing strategy and brand message. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay, everybody, just make sure that you subscribe to our email list so you can receive our free resources and upcoming webinars in your inbox. If you go to the homepage in our website, next close to the footer, you can subscribe. You can also, every single blog that you read at the bottom of the blog, you can also subscribe to receive information about our company. So we're going to be open for questions right now. Please, again, don't yell at the computer.
Okay, so we do have a couple of questions from a few of attendees. One question is, they're new business, they're just starting out. What are some of the some steps or the first things they should think about, especially on a limited budget?
I would take that. I think, especially with the limited budget, I would definitely focus, because all those things, like you said, they're pieces, right? You're going to add to it, and it can be really overwhelming thinking that you have to do all that and more. So I would start with your website and your Google My Business page, because those are the foundation, and from there you can kind of add the other blocks. Having a website will give you credibility. People are, they want to know that you exist online. It will help people find you online. Depending on the type of business, again, Google My Business can be really helpful if you are local and you need to be found to provide services. And then almost go in the order of the presentation that you had. That would be my suggestion. Hugo, anything would you like to add?
I think that Priscilla mentioned that you start today, because email list is something that takes time for you to build. Just start capturing email as much as possible so you can increase that database of emails, because that's the email marketing, believe it or not, it's still effective, and it's one of the cheapest tools that you can just utilize to acquire and connect with potential clients and new clients.
And I would take even just a step back a second, because I think one thing that's also very important is to do it like a session of almost like a branding, not in a sense of just creating a logo, but who is your business about? How are your process? How are you going to kind of, because when you do your website and you start putting this information out there, you want to make sure you have something that's very solid. What are your USPs, right? Your unique selling propositions. What makes you different from your competitors? So also, make sure you do your competition analysis. It can be done online. just so you can position and set yourself up for success.
Okay, great. Next question. What do you think is the most important to consider when choosing an email marketing tool?
There are a few things. I would say, for example, the question for the person that had just, if I'm starting, like a lot of people are starting, the very limited budget, perhaps you want to consider some of them that have a free option. So for example, I know Constant Contact, I know because we actually just reviewed, one of our team members did because we always want to look and see what else it's out there. She did an internal presentation for us. So Constant Contact, for example, they don't have a free option anymore, but MailChimp does. And some other tools they do as well. So you want to, perhaps that would be your selection. If you're already in the next level and you want to kind of expand in your email marketing, you want to also look at what do they offer, right? Some of them, they're easier to use. Some of them, they also have a better automation system. So I would say look at your goals. And actually, because we did this internal presentation, we're going to be writing a blog about it and adding to our website soon with the comparison, I believe, of 5 or 6 different tools.
Okay. How would you say, what's the best way to grow your email list?
That would really depend on the type of business that you have. A lot of businesses before the pandemic, they were doing a lot of events and social activities, and that was a good way to build their list. If you're doing a conference, make sure that before you sign up for the conference to know that you have the ability to get people that attended to share their emails. If you're doing events too, maybe in a little, not now, but when things get back to normal, giving people incentive. A good way too, the way that we use the most on the online, it's to creating content. So we have some of the content that we create, it's like subscriber only. And some of our clients the same way. They will have like a resources section on their website where they're creating content, but that may be an ebook, a white paper, a checklist. And for the person to download that free content, they will have to add their email to do that. So that could also be a good one. Hugo, can you think of anything else? Building emails?
It is, I mean, remember, things are changing. I think we are closer to going back to the new normal than we definitely were 6 months ago. But if you have a physical location, back in the days, you used to have the fishbowl. There are digital platforms nowadays that you can just subscribe, and they will provide the tablets, and you can start acquiring email lists and just giving something back to them. But just remember, emails, it belong to you. And I am against purchasing email lists because usually that's illegal, that's spamming. And your results are not going to be good because that person is not expecting to be to talk to you. It is similar to the car insurance or the car warranty extension that you receive the phone calls. You're not looking for it, but they are finding you. So that's spam. So don't do anything like this.
Yeah.
But the resources, I think the resources is a great tool for the website, the newsletter, and just be creative and just say, instead of just, hey, sign up for my newsletter, just try to be creative and just give something back to them.
Yeah, I think quality, it's more important really even than quantity when it comes to email lists, because they cost you. More contacts you have in any of these platforms, more contacts you have, that's how your price breaks are gonna increase. So you wanna make sure you have quality contacts, not just quantity.
Great. How do you decide which social media platforms a business should use based on their industry?
I would say that, first of all, I mean, it depends. Again, if you're the business owner or you have a business manager and you guys are doing that on your own, I would really start with the platforms that you actually use the most, because you're gonna have to spend some time there. This is just like a very basic tip. But if you're today, from our experience, what we see, like different types of success. Obviously, if you have a clothing, apparel, selling product, Facebook and Instagram are your friends. Even Pinterest could be a good one if you're selling, again, fashion and furniture, business to business. And for us, definitely LinkedIn. So for service providers, commercial real estate, a lot of people in the medical field, they're selling also software. LinkedIn, it's a good one for you to explore. Facebook, I would say, doesn't matter what you do, you kind of want to have a presence on Facebook because most people are still on Facebook. But when it comes to conversion, it could vary. But as a rule of thumb, start with the platform that you actually use or do you have interest in exploring more of. And then if you have a team, if you have an agency, then you can, again, add the other ones on top of it.
Yeah, and just remember that, so as an example, Instagram is a very visual social media platform. So if your product or your service is something very visual, you can definitely benefit from that platform. As well as don't forget that social media is not only to communicate with customers, but also with potential team members. So if you wanna hire people, you wanna show the company culture, you wanna showcase how diverse you are, the kind of products that you offer, and to make sure that you have like-minded people that want to work with you.
That's right. And I would say that for our clients, they're more business to business. They would, a lot of the content and the meat for prospecting, it would be on LinkedIn first, and then, you know, some Facebook, some Twitter. But they usually would have, we also would have them on Instagram just to show the behind the scenes, the culture, because a lot of them are usually looking to hire and talents, and they want to show that the personality.
Good. What is the best way to diversify your email so you're just not pitching more product, which eventually pushes them to unsubscribe or stop opening your emails?
Can you repeat that again? You break up just a little bit.
Sorry about that. Let me try to rephrase this. Okay, what is the best way to diversify your email so you're not just pitching more and more products, which eventually pushes them to unsubscribe or stop opening your emails?
Sure.
Yeah, so we have a different rules depending on the industry that you're in, if you're selling products. But we try to do a ratio either 3-to-1 or 5-to-1 with educational and sales. So you do 2 or 3 emails that are educational emails, just giving them information that they can benefit from, and then you can just, I'm going to use the word hit, but you can just hit them with an email that you're just trying to sell your product. If you're trying to sell your product every single time, again, you're going to alienate your audience. And the frequency is something that you're going to have to find out. There's no specific rule. There's a specific rule for too much, but there's no specific rule for quantity and time of the day. Is something that you're going to have to do it. Just look at the reports, just look at the numbers, and just making adjustments regarding this. So if you want to talk about the frequency that we do our emails as well.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, for a lot of our again, business to business or service type of clients, it's usually 2 to 4 a month. We don't do it very, very heavily because we don't do a lot of more of the product selling, e-commerce type of email marketing. It's about value. So when we talked about our 5th pillar was content marketing. Whatever emails are a good way for you to distribute, because remember, say you wrote a blog or resource for a website, you don't want to just put there. I mean, you had all the work to do it, to write a blog, to create a checklist, to write an ebook, you put on your website, now what? So your email marketing list, it's a good way for you to send out, to share that content, email, social media, you know, like all of your other, even your Google My Business has a section there where you can share as a post. So everything is connected.
Another question, are blogs beneficial for all types of businesses and industries?
That's an interesting question and a very broad question. Again, the way that we find most success, it's with our services and, you know, business to business types of clients. It's a good way to position yourself as a thought leader, to build content on your website that's going to drive and help with your SEO. I'm trying to think if there is I don't think it would hurt any type of business, but maybe if you are a very product specific e-commerce site, that may not be your priority, your number one priority. But other than that, I cannot see how it would hurt. It may even make you set yourself apart.
Yeah,
To
I mean,
follow that. No, go ahead.
Just even if you think about the food industry, a restaurant can, believe it or not, can benefit from the blog. They can talk about their process. They can talk about where their produce comes from. They can talk about the care that they have in the kitchen. That can be some information that they can just definitely share on the blog and have people coming back because they're always innovating.
To follow up with that, what's a good frequency to posting blogs? Is it, once a month, a couple times a month? What do you think is a good practice?
I would say, again, you have to look at your resources. If you are the only one, that if you are the person or the business owner, you may have a team, but you are the one creating that, you're going to have to look at your priority list, right? I think we usually say we try to save our clients time and kind of do and help them with quality content. Right now, we have clients that do from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 times a month blogs on their websites. For us specifically, we try to stay also between 2 to 4 a month. But if you have an even bigger team, a lot of thought leaders in your organization, for example, if you have a lot of thought leaders and people are used to writing articles and they enjoy doing that, you can do more. So it's really going to depend on your workforce, but I would suggest to do a minimum of 1 a month.
Yeah, 1 a month. Some people talk about once a quarter. I think once you do once a quarter, the content might be irrelevant. And remember, you want to drive traffic back to the website, so you're top of mind, you are communicating with them. And once a month, I think, is a great number. So you can be top of mind with your clients.
Yeah.
Okay. For businesses that primarily work with B2B or work with government agencies, they don't really work with the general public. How would they use social media?
It's interesting, because we actually have a couple clients that work with government agencies. We have one client that not going to share too much about them specifically, but a lot of the funds that come to their businesses, they come through government grants. And the way that we work, we definitely tell them. They started little by little. They came to us actually to do a website first and helped with some presentations. But it's been a few years now that we help them with some marketing communication specifically. So you think that government agencies and they're not really paying attention to this stuff, but they are. It's how you support your other efforts. On social media, the only thing it's lighter. We're not doing too many posts a month. They're probably the ones that we do few posts a month, maybe a couple times a week. But it's about sharing news, sharing if it's a product that's being developed, put on a website, put on social media. Again, it's the whole, whatever you put on a website, you want to share on social media. They do actually a very low frequency of emails, but from time to time we'll send out an email to their contact list. So everything is connected, and people are seeing. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's just
no, go ahead.
it's being relevant. It's understanding that it's government making decision, but it's still people in the government making decision. I know it's a business to consumer, business to business, and also the government. But at the end of the day, they will do research on you. They will do research. They will find your social media presence if you have one. They will look at your website. And if your last post was a Christmas party 2012, I think that says a lot about how you're keeping up with not only business but other aspects as well.
Okay. For those same companies that work with B2B and government contractors, besides Facebook, are any other social media platforms you recommend? Because I know they can't be on everything. So what social media platforms should they be on?
LinkedIn, for sure.
100%. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What about Twitter?
Just remember, just remember that Instagram, for companies that work with the government, Instagram is also good to hire people, to showcase a culture, showcase how innovative you are, so you can hire people. This is also important. And Priscilla, Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter. That's what I mentioned before about. We usually recommend if Twitter is something that someone in your organization uses or is committed to use, yes. And I say that because Twitter, things, they happen and they fade out a lot faster. So it's a lot about being part of a conversation. So it's not like just putting a post there and forgetting. I mean, you could, if you're already creating for other platforms, you could. But it's one that you definitely want to be more engaged, even on app engaged. So that's kind of the difference.
Great. Okay. So far, no. Any further questions? Okay. No further questions? Okay. So thank you, Priscilla and Hugo, for this presentation. We really appreciate that. It was a great content, a lot of great information, and we appreciate the time you took to present and also share your knowledge and share the resources that you provided in the handouts. Just a quick to close this out. So please remember, you'll see a survey by the end of the day. Please complete that. Take 2 or 3 minutes to complete that survey. We use that feedback for our future webinars. You should also, you will be seeing a boatload of webinars coming up in the next several months, so be on the lookout for those. They'll be covering on different topics: marketing, HR, sales, and government contracting as well. So thank you again for everyone for joining us today. We really appreciate it, and we hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.